I replaced this capacitor, this capacitor, this capacitor, this capacitor. This I went from 60 microfarads to 82. Somebody already had the more current diodes jumped over the old orange rectifier. I replaced that one. I measured from here to chassis. I got a little under 220K, I guess. So I know where the chassis is neutral. I replaced this capacitor here with a 22 microfarad, and this is on the boost. I think it says 450. The plate of the vertical output oscillator. Feedback, yeah. So this is it. I bought this off eBay for some strange reason a long time ago, and it come in handy. So this is hang on to it for a bit. It's got an AM radio, phono input, and the phono input is this rectifier. Where is it? This rectifier, where it grounds, it goes through the phono. So I checked that. It checked like there's no leakage or no resistance. But I will solder a good connection from the phono plug to a good suitable ground in case it gets corroded, because this would be a bad place to have high voltage shoot it into the RCA jack of the phono. So we'll move on here. So I have to check on the date here. I think it's the 24th.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety?
May 24th.
Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks?
Orange Beginner's Corner. So here's the one for the voltage doubler in section, this 60 here. They seem to have a different amperage or something, 700 milliamps. So I'll turn it on, see what happens. Haven't done it yet, so I got neutral to neutral. See what happens. Okay. Surprise, surprise. What the hell is that? Something right in this area sparked. Here's the fuse. I checked the fuse. It was... Yeah, she don't feel like she... What the heck? Should I try it again? Well, that sucked. To me, it seemed like it sparked down here, but here's the power transformer. I better look into this. That wasn't a good startup, obviously. I don't have a dim bulb anymore. I could throw them together, but I don't think I will. I will investigate, I guess. Back on here. Here's one diode. And if I go to phono jack to here, here's the other diode. Now if I flip them, infinity, relocate, black there, red here, infinity, So apparently I didn't blow out the rectifier. If I go to the fuse, let me see, what did I just do on the fuse? I was going, the heck was I going? Across the AC, I think. I already did this. Across the AC, the TV's turned on, so I'm getting, whoops, 3.4 ohms. If I push the circuit breaker, where is it? Right here. I still get the same. So the circuit breaker, I don't think it's a fuse. It shows a fuse on the schematic, but it has this thing here. But when I checked it, it checked short circuit, or so to speak. Then I push it, so when it opened up. Capacitors I did. I know I got negatives towards ground. I know that. This one here goes to ground through the damper connection. Then it goes up to here. The positive goes to here. Then this goes to this negative. And positive goes to here. Let's see these resistors. This resistor, that's a red, so it's 5.6K, but it reads about 9K. This one here is a 1K, so that's a red over there. Obviously I marked it with the red stripe, so I know they're bad. Got to be replaced. That one, what's that one for? I don't remember. I got one sitting here. I don't remember what that one's for either. This one here's that one that was a 10 microfarad that goes to the plate of the vertical output B plus section. I don't know, that being 22 microfarads, if that could do me an issue. I don't think so. So this resistor is a 5.6K. It's in the schematic, it shows 1 watt, but it looks like a 2 watt to me. And this one here is a 1K. I marked it. I marked this one too, so it can be seen. So I don't know if I should disconnect this. If this could be an issue, that was short circuit. I don't see any issues with any of these capacitors. It won't be these. These are, what's that 100 for? That 100 was for, this 100 is a cathode bypass on the vertical output tube. It's for linearity or height or something. So my explosion thing would have been right around this area. My pop was right around the transformer. So I should check to see if the primaries to this is still good. If it does, I don't know if it takes something special. I don't think it does. It's just I don't think it's anything special. I think if I could replace it, I could use a regular transformer and not use a voltage doubler, just full wave rectifier with the diodes. So I will hook up to the primary. Well, I think I was hooked up to the primary doing this. I'll shut the switch off. Where is it? Right here. On-off switch. So I would say the primaries are good. I don't know. Kind of wandering there. 6.2 ohms. Let me shut it off again. It should go quicker than that. I don't like that. I can never hear it. It's back on. It shouldn't be doing that. I'll put a jumper across the fuse or the circuit breaker. I have to flip it, I think, to do that. I'll flip it around here. Okay, I put it back on to the AC input. It says 14.9. Well, actually, this is always off about 0.4 ohms. I call it 14 ohms, 14 dot a couple, and I flipped these around just to see if it had something to do with the diodes or anything. If there was something wrong, it measured the same exact thing. So, and I was going to do this. Still the same. So evidently this thing shorted out, froze, or whatever happens to it. I don't think there's a fuse in here. I don't know of any way of. I think it's a breaker. Sure looks like a fuse connector. So, but where it popped was right around here. And I seen it pop. So I don't know what it could be. Could have been a potentiometer here. I'll risk it. I'll plug it in again. Be a risky here. I can only destroy it once. Neutral. I think this side was neutral. So we'll focus on this area here. Plug it in. See what happens. Full flusher. Be ready to unplug it. Here it goes. Pretty quick here. Here she goes. What the hell? I'll try it again. One more time. Third time. Now something's open. So what could be open? I totaled the transformer. Well, I could have threw a dim bulb thing together, but I didn't feel like it, so we do the risk. Hell with that. If it destroys itself, then I will just part it out. I didn't pay much for it anyways. So that measures 0.8, so that's probably pretty decent. Okay, now 1.1 ohm, less than an ohm, and that's across that. So maybe I'll put a dim bulb thing on it and do it the right way. So we'll just go back to the my throat is messed up. This is Orange at Beginner's Corner. Put that on here, put that on here, and reenact this. So we're still getting 3.6 ohms, 3 ohms. Swap them around in case it has some diode effect going on. 3 ohms. At one point I had 10 ohms, but I could have had faulty connections going on someplace here. I know the electrolytics aren't correctly, but if I want I can disconnect the rectifiers and go at it slowly but surely. You can't pull a filament because they're all 6.3. I'll throw a dim bulb together and work on it another day. Actually, I'm working on another one in front of this, but I should probably follow up on this to find out where I stand. I want to get these done. And here's what's wrong with it for sure. This thing's floating, centering rings is rotted. I don't know. I think I tested the picture tube a long time ago when I got it. I would assume I did because I think I had to remove this to get the plug off. I don't think I tested any other tube, otherwise I would have cleaned them. And that quick of a snap, I don't think it could be a warm-up like it's the electrolytic on the plate of the... This one here I think is vertical and this one's horizontal. I think the ringing coil's right there, so they're both 6CG7s. So the ringing coil, horizontal ringing coil is down there, so I'd assume that's horizontal and that's vertical. This is a 6U8. This is a 6BZ6 or 6CB6 or something like that, IF. There's two tubes in here, I never identified them, I don't know. A second IF and a video amplifier, I think. No, this was the 6A W8A or whatever, that's the video amplifier. This is the 6T8. This is the 6AQ5, so, and I looked to look from the plate of this or the output transformer to ground to see if there's a wax capacitor that could be shorting out, but the wax capacitor goes from the plate to the other side of the windings. That would be the B+, so it can't be that either, shorting out. Unless if it's different than a schematic, I'll look at it. I can check that. See, it has to a ground shortage or something. I'll check that. So if I go back to this, here's that 220K. I got less 220K to chassis. So you got your windings here, whatever they are. I don't know what they're supposed to be. So I will disconnect that one transformer winding from there. There's the fuse. It's on the B+. Imagine that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there's the fuse thing right there. Imagine that. Well, I'm going to disconnect that orange thing. But if I hook the meter up from here to here, I get a reading 400 something. Then I flip it, I get an infinity. Same thing with here. So I don't think this actual one is bad or shorted, and the new additional ones are not shorted. I'm positive I'll have these correct, you know. I'm positive of that. I'm positive I have this correctly, this one correctly, and that one correctly, and this one, where is it? So here's the 100 microfarads. I got plenty of voltage there. It only wants a 50 volt capacitor, I think, there, and the other one is here. The plate of that is that where I put the 22. It can't be that. There's that 5.61K, but it looks like a 2K. We go to the audio output tube, which is here. This capacitor goes from grid number 2 to plate just across the primary windings, so it's not to ground, so it can't be a wax capacitor there shorting out, and that's the area where the short is. So the only thing I can do is disconnect this stuff here, the high voltage and make sure the filaments are getting 6.3, which it'll be high because it's rated for 117 volts. So, you know, I just hope the filaments don't run out of a leaky condition, gassy condition to give it issues. So I will disconnect this. Where the hell is it? This one or this one. That'll completely open the circuit. And I will look at things again. And this is the chassis. How the hell do I know this is the one? I don't remember. I looked at this stuff a long time ago. So I don't know how I know this is the one. 1232. So I said 1232. 1232. Well, I'll check this. Come on. Focus. Yeah, that'll be easy. I don't need the dim bulb. I'll just disconnect it and maybe I'll do that right now. I'll just snip the fuse wire. I don't see another fuse here, so I'd assume that's this. I'll just snip it and move on. I'll go do that. Back on. So again, I'll go neutral's on the left. Get her in focus if I can. Neutral's this way. Not that it matters. There's the thing. So my sparks are over this way. I have this disconnected. I'd like to hook my amp meter up, see how many amps it's drawn, but I don't know how to hook it up. I guess it'll just show negative. We'll hook it up. It'll just show negative voltage, I think. So I'll put this on here. I never do this stuff, so I'll put on 20 amps. Imagine that goes in common. And 20 amps. See what happens and see what the... You know, it's got that bad of short, it's got that bad of short. Maybe I should pull the horizontal output out. I don't know. I don't think that could short out that quick. BQ6. I'll take that off. These ones here are both bad. These make that flashing shit go past on the screen, which is amazing. Both of them do that. So I have it at 20 amps. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I've never used it on here. I'll try that. And if we get some guts, we'll download it. Okay. Watching everything on the back side with the lights out. Here she goes. So I got interruption at the power supply. DC power supply. So if anything goes well, we should get the filaments here. Or if we got to short it out, power transformer, then we'll part it out, and I don't even know if I'd keep that. I don't know. Maybe I got the other one. Okay, here we go. Move this. Put it in my pocket. Okay, I'll leave the audio output out. We don't need that in. Okay, here we go. She's in. Oops. She's in. We got nothing here. Well, wait a minute. I'm not connected. Wait a minute. Well, we got filaments going. So we got a nasty ass something here. I wouldn't doubt if it's that red orange rectifier thing. Okay, let me unplug it. I couldn't pull this off apparently. Thought I could. So I'm hooked up to there. I'm going to hook up to this wire and see what she draws. I'm assuming I'm going to get a high number there. She's back in. You see the damper tube. Still nothing here. I'm on 20 amps here. I'm in common and 20 amp. I'd assume that's... I'd nip-tuck out that rectifier quickly, but it's more than the diodes are mounted to it. Unless if I snip the part that goes to the RCA jack. Where's the RCA jack? Where's the rectifier? Rectifier's right here, so the RCA jack I think is right here. No, that's 1/4 inch phone speaker. There it is. So there's a little wire there I could snip maybe, and then run it without the orange rectifier thing. But we got... So we're going to say the power transformer's good. The picture tube is lit up down there. Should I dare plug this thing in? It can't be this. I can't see how it goes in. I unplugged it, so I think like this. I'm using the incorrect hand for this. So I'm gonna risk it a little bit and put this down to 200 milliamps. 200 milli, and I think I have to change this. Maximum 30, 20 amp. I can't read that. Fused. I don't know. I should get my old analog one. I'll put it here. I don't know where the hell to put it. Here, I think. 200 milliamps. And common, I would assume. Okay. Got the 6AQ5 in. Neutral to the left. Meter on. Here we go. It's not the 6AQ5. That's impossible. Okay, here we go. Well, solid state, we're not waiting for a vacuum tube rectifier to come on. 3, 3 milliamps. Here, I'm gonna put one of these babies in. These are 6AQ5s. We don't have to worry about B plus because it's disconnected, hopefully. Unless the fuse is for something else. Well, put her back in. I still have the top off of it. It's lighting up. Okay, shut it off one more time. And we'll hook this up to here. We'll change that over to here first. To 200 volts. It's about 150 volts, I think. The boost is needs a 400 volt capacitor. So all these capacitors are like 150 for the voltage doubler. This one's 250. That one is the one that goes to the plate for the vertical output, which is off the boost. Usually I always thought vertical outputs were off the lower voltage. The oscillator was off the boost, but this one here seems to be 250, and there's that one 100 at the bypass cathode of the vertical output. And this one here is the one filters the B plus at the vertical output. So, and I put no, it ain't that one. It's this one, and I put a 22 there. So there's the boost voltage. Okay, back on. I'm gonna, just for the heck of it, go from here and to here, and I think I have this on correctly. 200 volts. I'll shut it off for a moment. Turn it back on, because otherwise it'll shut off on me. Maybe. Has a timer. Okay, back on with neutral to the left. Doesn't matter if I'm not hooking up test equipment, but you gotta observe the rules. Okay, back on. We'll watch this one. Any explosions? My next test, I'll put that back on and disconnect the meter.